Tonight, women's MMA fighter ready to fight. Devastating news for regional television and what's happening tomorrow for ANZAC Day in the Matamata-Piako district. Kia ora and good evening. Welcome to Central News on tvCentral for Friday, the 24th of April. I'm Amanda Harper. In today's news, Bay of Plenty MMA fighter Faith Van Duyn is set for her Invicta FC 12 bout with Amanda Bell this weekend in the United States. At 28 years old, Faith is the first New Zealand woman signed to Invicta, which is the largest women's MMA promotional organisation in the world. The Papamoa mother of two was due to fight in a featherweight bout against Canadian Charmaine Tweet at the end of last year. However, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation pulled the fight ahead of the December 5 scheduling due to medical concerns about the Canadian. Faith has amassed 4 wins in her professional career, including 3 before the final bout. And this fight will mark her first bout in the States. Faith says as women's MMA is a young sport in New Zealand, it's difficult for her to get sponsorship. To help cover the costs of training and travelling internationally with her team of trainers, she is constantly fundraising. To help with the costs needed, Faith has set up a fundraising page through givealittle.co.nz. Fine weather is expected to greet those getting up early on ANZAC Day before heavy wind and rain move in later on over the long weekend. Clear skies overnight on Friday in many places mean temperatures are likely to be chilly during the dawn services. Temperatures are expected to dip as low as 6 degrees in inland areas of the North Island, including Hamilton, Taupo and Palmerston North. Once the sun comes up, though, the day will turn out to be a warm one for most. In Tauranga, temperatures are set to reach 19 degrees during the day. But cloudier skies and wetter weather are forecast for the second half of the weekend and into Monday. Most of the country will receive rain over the weekend, although not until Monday for the North Island. Heavy falls are likely predominantly in western parts of the country, as well as strong winds in many places. The heaviest rain in the North Island is expected from North Taranaki across the central high country on Monday, as well as the ranges of the Eastern Bay of Plenty and the Tauranga Range later on Monday and Tuesday. In our last story, it is with a heavy heart that I have to announce that tvCentral will cease broadcasting at midnight on April the 30th due to ongoing challenges in raising sufficient local commercial funding. Trustee and CEO Daryl Anderson says viewer support for Waikato and Bay of Plenty's regional community TV channel, which began in 2002, has been fantastic. But technology and viewing habits are continually changing for many sectors of the community. There is no doubt that an important continued need exists for the production and distribution of local content to ensure we build and support our local identity. He says there has been an expression of interest for some continued local production. All staff have been offered support in finding future work opportunities within the community. Management and staff are proud to have provided this service over the years and take this opportunity to thank all supporters, viewers and various funders in the community that have been part of this journey. And now for our region's weather. Hamilton will be fine apart from evening cloud, light winds 19 high and 8 low. Rest of the Waikato will be the same, Paeroa 19 and 11, Matamata 17 and 10, Te Awamutu 19 high and 8 low, Tokoroa 17 high and 13 low. And in the Bay of Plenty, Tauranga will be fine apart from evening cloud with light winds as well, high of 19 and low of 14. Te Puke, your high is 21 and overnight low of 16. And for the marine forecast, West Coast Raglan a northeast 20 knots, rising late Sunday, northerly 35 knots with a very rough sea. High tide is at 3:08 p.m. And on the East Coast Bay of Plenty, a southeasterly 20 knots. Sea will be moderate with an easterly swell rising to 2 metres. High tide is at 12:21 p.m. Coming up in the show, attributes of effective leadership. Welcome back to Central News. Aaron Osman is a Hamilton-based athletic strength and conditioning coach. Rachel Sutton talks to Aaron about his next venture.
Well, my background isn't academic per se, it's more based on experience. So a lot of the life experiences that I've had, and also opportunities to be involved with a lot of leadership positions through church, through my own businesses, and also in sport, have allowed me to develop really a passion for leadership and also for speaking and motivating people to do their best. So if I had to boil it down to anything, it would be life experience.
Right. Now, you are gaining recognition as a inspirational and motivational speaker. Can you tell us a bit more about what you do as a motivational speaker?
In my opinion, I really just want to share my story and my message with people from where I came from and where I'm going and how I'm getting there. So it's really started back in 2009 when I was depressed, had a couple of kids on the benefit, life didn't seem to be where I wanted it to be. And I asked myself the question, surely there must be something better out there than just being on the benefit or having these problems. So it led me to a number of events in life that allowed me to grow into a different person, to change myself rather than expect the circumstances to change. And that's where it led me to then start sharing my story with people and help them realize that it is possible, that they can do it. It just requires them to see a vision of themselves rather than looking around and seeing what's in front of them. So that has led me to get a momentum going with being a motivational speaker. People obviously are interested in listening to what I have to say, and it's a blessing to share that with people regularly and actually inspire them and have them come up to me and say, wow, hey, look, you've changed my life, or what you've said really touched me. I'm going to change and do this now. It's very humbling to have that kind of result or that kind of feedback from people just from sharing your story. So, yeah.
Can you tell me a bit more about the workshops that you're running? What is the main focus of these workshops?
So this particular seminar is based on the 6 attributes of effective leadership. So we cover your vision. So every great leader has a vision of where they want to go, where they want to take their people. Also, the ability to communicate effectively, to defend your beliefs, defend your decisions, to lead by example, and also to develop more leaders. That's your legacy that you'll leave behind. And also the last one is how to develop yourself, because in order to be effective, you need to be effective first, and so you can teach your people. So that's what it covers, and it's essentially to help people who now in this day and age, we live in a social frenzy. We're going on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, Instagram, and we are sharing our talents and our gifts, and we're building this massive following with people who really love what we do. But to make, in my opinion, a true legacy of your gift, to have people follow you, you need to be able to lead them somewhere and change their life, not just get things from them, but actually give back. So this is what it's entailed for the seminar to do, is to teach people how to take that gift of being a leader, whether they want it or not, and put back into the people and develop them to become better. And so as they let their light shine, it will encourage others to do the same.
For people that haven't been to one of your workshops before, Aaron, what can they expect when they attend your workshop?
I like to focus a lot on interaction. So I've been to a few seminars before where the speaker will give off a lot of information, you make a lot of notes, and then you go home and you leave your notebook by the side of the bed. So in my seminars, I love to give opportunities for people to actually sit down, or while they are seated, to write their notes and to collate their strategy of how they're going to implement what I've just taught them. It also gives them opportunity to be with like-minded people, those who are young or seasoned, who have a wealth of experience and hunger to do something with their life, and they can network, and as they share their experiences and their dreams and visions, they may meet people who can help them. So it's really about allowing people to create a strategy that they can implement as soon as they leave, not just take a whole bunch of notes and then just put it away.
Where can we get tickets for the workshop?
So if you go to aaronosman.com, you'll see at the top right corner there's a button called Buy Ticket, and you can purchase your tickets there. But also on that front page it has more explanation of the seminar, what it's about, what the topics cover, and all the details. But that's where you'll find it. So you go aaronosman.com, and then right at the top corner you'll see Buy Ticket.
Attributes of Effective Leadership workshop is on 16th of May at the University of Waikato. Alyson Gofton has been cooking for New Zealanders for nearly 30 years. She will be at Kitchen Things in Hamilton as she cooks a couple of dishes from her latest book and recounts a few of her adventures. Rachel chats to the store manager of Kitchen Things.
Absolutely. I'm in charge of the day-to-day running of the whole store, which involves helping the staff with any sales inquiries. I'm in charge of ordering stock and products, making sure they look good out on the floor, marketing, lots and lots to the role actually.
So you're all over everything. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background, Matthew?
Yeah, sure. So I've actually been in the industry for many years, in fact over 20 years now. Quite a long time. I started in a store called Martin's Home Electrics in Te Awamutu. So that's where I sort of did my apprenticeship in the industry. And in 2001, my family actually took over from the Martins family in Te Awamutu, and very quickly we actually grew the business, and we ended up in this large format store over in Hamilton in 2004. Which was a great move. And then we were really passionate about the whiteware side of the industry, of the appliance industry, and so we changed our brand to Kitchen Things, which is who we are today. So, really good.
Matthew, can you tell me a little bit more about the Kitchen Things brand?
Yeah, definitely. So Kitchen Things is actually a nationwide brand. It's a New Zealand owned and operated brand. As mentioned before, my family actually owns this store, so we run this Hamilton store ourselves. But the exciting thing about Kitchen Things is that they are a true kitchen specialist, and we specialise in the premium cooking appliances, just like the big brands of Bosch, Fisher & Paykel, Miele, Samsung and Smeg. What's really unique with Kitchen Things is that all our displays are set up in a lifestyle shot, or what I would call is a real life setting. So when you're looking at doing up your kitchen with, say, an oven and a cooktop and a range hood, we've actually got it set up. So you could come in, have a look at it, have a look and say, oh yep, I like the setup of the Bosch and the theme that it creates, or you might prefer the Miele or the Smeg. So it makes life a lot easier when you're looking at doing up the house or the kitchen.
Now, you have a very exciting event coming up. You've got Alyson Gofton, who's going to be live in store. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. We're very excited to have Alyson in store. It'd be a great Mother's Day event, I guess, because it's around that time of the year. And she's going to be coming in. She's going to be doing a bit of a cooking demo and talking about her new book, which is all about her. She spent a year over in France with her family.
Are there any particular dishes that she's going to be cooking from the book, or what can we expect when we come to the event?
We've actually left that up to her. So, I'm sure we're going to be having some really nice food cooked for us and something to sample and check out.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Alyson's latest cookbook and what's going to be in there?
Yeah, sure. So it really revolves around her taking her family, uplifting her family and spending a year in France. And the book's really about, her journey within that year and the new recipes that she's made up and I guess the food that she's used locally in that area.
Now, the event's going to be held here in store. How many people can you actually have for this event in total?
Well, this is a really cool thing about our cooking theatre here. We can seat sort of from 6 people right up to 90 people. So we've got a large area. Once we set all the chairs up, we can really cram a lot of people in. So yeah, lots.
Whereabouts can we get tickets, or how do we get tickets to the event?
Yep, so if you go to eventfinder.co.nz and just look up the Alyson Gofton event, tickets are $49. That actually gets you a ticket for 2 and one of Alyson's cookbooks.
Now, can you tell us what future events that you have coming up at Kitchen and Things?
Wow, it gets even more exciting. So we've got Karina and Casey, so the winners of MasterChef, and we've got them actually the following week after Alyson.
Wow, so you're really nice and busy. Have you got any more new products or services that are going to be on the way for Kitchen Things this year?
Yeah, well, one of the cool things in our cooking theatre, which I'm not sure if Alyson or the girls will demonstrate all of it, but we've got an induction cooktop set up, a big, large capacity 90 centimetre gas cooktop, and a very special teppanyaki induction hot plate. Along with that, we've got 10 ovens on display that have got functions like pyrolytic cooking or cleaning, I should say, steam cooking, so they've got lots and lots to choose from.
Now, if we want to get some information on what events you have coming up and kitchen things in general, whereabouts do we go?
Well, there's a couple of places. Ultimately, if you go to our Facebook page, which is Kitchen Things Hamilton, we also have a blog page, which is kitchenthingshamilton.com.
Alyson will be at Kitchen Things on the 14th of May. Stay with us for a story from the Epilepsy Foundation coming up after the break. Welcome back to Central News. Epilepsy New Zealand comprises 13 branches over New Zealand, supported by the National Support Centre in Hamilton. Rachel chats to National Marketing and Program Manager Barnett to find out more.
Epilepsy is the breakdown of the electronic circuits that happen in your brain. So normally everything we do is controlled by those movements of electricity. If it's a circular movement like this in epilepsy, it just breaks, and then you'll get varying brain changes, and which will manifest as seizures.
Brian, how many different types of epilepsy is there?
Well, there are dozens and dozens of different sorts of syndromes which tend to be more chronic epilepsy, and generally what we know is that epilepsy, as people experience it, is a partial seizure where part of the brain will have some electronic misfire and give a seizure, a smaller seizure, right through to the whole brain, the generalized seizures where the whole body convulses. So that could be from absence, which is just a few second break, and somebody may not appear to be with you, they're just a vacant, right through to just a myoclonic jerk, one part of the body moving. Or you could have a drop seizure where your body just slackens and falls to the ground, or the fully blown tonic-clonic seizure, which is what people generally recognise epilepsy to be.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the history of the Epilepsy Foundation?
Yeah, the Epilepsy Foundation was kicked off in 1987. It started here in Hamilton actually by a guy called Ray Kerr. Ray's daughter had a very intractable epilepsy, serious epilepsy, and Ray felt at that time that there was nothing really being done to support people living with those chronic cases. So he was set up the foundation 25 years ago. He got an MBE actually for 50 years of work. So the goal of the foundation was to raise funds and implement programming to support people and their families with epilepsy.
For more information on how you can help, head online to their website, epilepsyfoundation.org.nz. In our last story, tomorrow is ANZAC Day, and there are plenty of commemorations going on around the district. Jan Barnes is one busy lady. Find out where she will be and what you can do to get involved with the 100th anniversary of the ANZAC landings at Gallipoli.
Amanda, we work very closely with our 3 RSAs within our district. And of course the White Cross project has been, was rolled out last year, and the RSAs have certainly got them out very visible again this year, ready for ANZAC Day. We have planted gardens, so there's been a lot of effort go into commemorative gardens to commemorate the 100 years since the World War I and of course the landing at Gallipoli. So we're quite excited. They have been planted with the 2 official plantings, the rosemary and the Gallipoli rose. So they're not flowering yet, but please, we encourage people to check them out. So they're in the centre of the 3 towns.
Why is it important to continue recognising ANZAC Day?
Amanda, we have so much to be thankful for in our country. We have freedom. We have choice. And you know, these men went off 100 years ago to fight for that, and we have it. So every day we should be giving thanks. But you know, once a year we have our ANZAC services, and we are able to stop and think and make sure that we have remembered. Of course, the 100 years is a commemoration, and 100 years isn't that long ago, because there are so many families behind those white crosses. They tell a story, and it's very important for us to not forget and to look back and to remember and be very thankful.
And what will you be doing on ANZAC Day?
Well, I'm sharing myself around. We always meet with our RSAs and set up our different services. Of course, the RSAs run the dawn services, and I will be attending Matamata's dawn service and breakfasting with our Matamata RSA. My husband Rex and I will then be going to Te Araha, and I will be leading our 10:30 civic service for Te Araha, and I will be sharing lunch at the RSA there. And then before coming home perhaps, and then going back to the Morrinsville Beat Retreat. Now that's being held in Howie Park at 5 p.m. It's a 45-minute service. Barry Shivers is putting it on, and it will be quite spectacular. It's the first time we will have had the Beat Retreat, and anyone that would like to, please, rain, hail or snow, it'll be at Howie Park, and I will take the salute.
Is there anything else going on in any other areas of Matamata-Piako district?
Yes, Amanda, we always hold a service out at Walton, and Councillor Bob McGrail will be leading that, and that's at 11 o'clock on ANZAC morning.
What are your personal feelings towards ANZAC Day?
I'm just so very thankful that we're in a democratic country, and I'm very proud of the people that have gone before us to pave the way and to give us the lifestyle that we have. I mean, that was a sacrifice of life, but it was also a sacrifice by families. They gave so much, sons and husbands, brothers, fathers. So can I encourage everybody within Matamata-Piako to please come along, take part in one of these services, take time to stop and think, and wear your poppy with very proudly, and you have the chance to take your poppy off at the end of the service and perhaps leave it at one of the monuments.
Lest we forget, enjoy your ANZAC weekend, everyone, and make sure that you drive safe. Thank you for watching Central News tonight. We have all received some sad news this week, but I'd like to take this time to remember the success of tvCentral over the last 15 years. It started off as a dream, and with hard work, dedication and perseverance, Daryl and everyone were able to achieve that dream, and in doing so, provided the opportunity for hundreds of staff over the years to come in, upskill and have a great experience. I personally owe a lot to tvCentral, but all things must come to an end. Next week we will look back on some of our favourite moments, revisit some old faces and remember all the fun we had and all the people, businesses, causes, charities we have helped by providing a broadcast media outlet for 15 years. You are watching Central News and this is tvCentral. My name is Amanda Harper. Have a good weekend. Paul Marie.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.